Hello everyone, today we're going to be continuing with our React series, and I have decided that we're going to be creating a book tracker web app just to keep track of the books that you have read so far on this year or any other year. So in this case, this is how the web app is going to look like. It's nothing crazy. It's just like we're just going to review the basics of React, and we're going to build this as a byproduct of reviewing those basics so that we can have something that to show, right, or to put on our portfolio. So the first thing that we need to do is to make it look like this. So usually I always go for functionality first, and then I try to implement the styling. But in this case, I'm gonna do a styling and then the functionality, just because I just wanna do it differently this time. Alright, if you're following the tutorials, in the last tutorial we just had our Navbar and we were using Bootstrap. We had a bunch of links. We didn't even have this button here. But in this tutorial we're gonna be making that Navbar is gonna turn into this whole web app here. And right now it doesn't have any functionality once again, but we'll do that later. So let's get started. You have to cd into the folder if you just open Visual Studio. And let's just run the application just to show you what we have, which is just like a navbar, and we're gonna clean all of these directories as well. Alright, so as you can see, this is where we left off in the last tutorial, and once again we're gonna change all of this. So let's go to Visual Studio and let's start changing things. So maybe it's better just to look at it while we're doing it, right? So let me just split the screen in two. So let's start changing the name first. So like for the navbar, so if you go to components, we had it here. So you can go to Navbar BS, which is the one that we used. So another thing that I wanted to say is that we're going to be changing the naming convention for our components, for our files, just to keep consistent with there is no official naming convention for React, but there seems to be one that everyone agrees on, or most people agree on, which is the one that Airbnb uses. So we'll be using that one. So they have like a GitHub repo where they outline all of this. So if you go to naming, and here you have everything, like how things should be named. So component naming, what kind of things are bad and what kind of things are good. So I'll be just using this one. I think it makes a lot of sense to me, so I'll be using this one. And if you do things differently, just make sure that you keep consistent with your ways. Alright, so let's just go back, and I'll put the link in the description so that you can check it out as well. Alright, so let's start changing the name. So here it's gonna be book tracker, and another thing that we want to change is so in our case we have all of these links. So once again, you can leave the links if you want to, but in my case I'm just gonna get rid of them. I'm not gonna use them. So we already know how to do the navbar. But if you want to keep them and maybe do like once again 2020, 2019, then you can keep them. So then you can check the books that you read in 2019, you can check the books that you read in 2020, and then 2021, and so forth and so on. So in my case I'm just gonna get rid of all these links. We'll have something like that now. So we don't have any links, but we want to add like a button here, which is the post or add a book button. Alright, if you want to know like how to add the components and all of that, we did this in the last tutorial, but you can just go to this website. I'll put the link in the description as well, which is the React Bootstrap GitHub page. And here you can just go to Navbar, and this is gonna show you how to do things. So in our case, so we have we want to add we want to add like a button, right? So here's one. So this is so then we just grab that one, which is here. Just make sure that you know where it goes, so that look at the code and then look at your code and see where it goes, and then you can add it without having any problems. So so it has to go in after the navbar and inside of the navbar collapse. So we're gonna have this problem that says the button is not defined, and that's because we haven't imported. So then we have to import it from the library, and after you import it, you can just save it, and then it will run by itself. And if you go back, you see that we have the button here now. So in this case it says search. We want to change that to add book or something like that. And if you want to change like the color, you can also just once again, just refer to this page, and here you have different colors. So if you go to buttons here, you see you have the different colors and how to add them. So maybe if you want to change it, and I don't know, maybe you want to use, well, maybe not that one, but you want to use, so let's just do primary, just so that I can show you here. So you go and type primary for the outline, then it's gonna change and it's gonna show the primary, and this is for the outline of the button. But if you want to change like the background color, you can just do that, and then that will change the button to it will be blue now. So let's just stick to the one that we had, which was success, right? Which was the green one. I misspelled it here. Alright, so there you have it. So add book. So the next thing that we want to do, so once again, as I said, I want to change some of the naming convention that we're using here, and I want to get rid of some of the things that we have as well. So for the Navbar Bootstrap, we'll just have Navbar in this case. So that's gonna be the name of the component. And then we'll get all kinds of errors. So let me just get rid of this Navbar. So we're not gonna use these ones. These are the ones that we used before for we were using the style components library. So let's just get rid of that one. And then also get rid of this one that says Navbar styles. Alright, and now we can rename it. So it's just gonna be Navbar. So the same name as the component. And then the component is gonna be named Navbar as well. Alright, so it's giving us a problem because we have like one of the elements is called Navbar. So what we wanna do is we'll just name it book Navbar. That will fix all problems here. And then we'll go to Navbar as well, and we'll just put book Navbar like that. Alright, so that should be good now, and we're still getting a problem. And the problem is that if all the imports that we did before, we have to change them. So if you go back to app.js, and well, do we have it here? Yes. So you can see here the import, right? So before it was like Navbar, Bootstrap, and all of that, right? So it was really confusing. So now it will be just what we're importing, which is book Navbar, and where are we importing them from? This is gonna be the path. So we'll just have to change the name because we just changed it, and then save it, and we have it. And I know it's a ton of work, but it's better to do it now than later. Having a problem here, and that's because the component here I also have to change it. Alright, so let me just exit here. Let's just stop the server and let's just run it again. I think it's referring to like an old file, the one that we just deleted. That's why it's doing that. Or maybe I have another import somewhere else, so I'll take a look at that as well. But we should be good. I don't think I'm missing anything. Alright, it's trying to run it now. Yes, so as I was saying, it was referring to an old file, the old file that we had here and that we deleted. So if it's not working, or if it's giving you the same error, just stop the server and then just run it again, and then you should be good to go. Alright, so this still works here, so that's good. Alright, so that's it for this one, for the Navbar. I think we have everything. You can style it a little bit more if you want to. Just gonna leave it there. Alright, so that's it for this file, which is the book Navbar. Let's just close that one. And another thing that I want to do is go back to where we created all the pages. And once again, you can keep them. If you want to keep the links, you keep the pages. If no, you can just delete them. So that's what I'm gonna do here. So I'm just gonna delete all the pages, but I'm gonna leave the folder, the pages folder, just in case that I want to create maybe a page where I want to navigate to. And I'm getting this error because if you come to app.js, we have the routes to those pages. So in my case, I'm just gonna get rid of them. And once again, if I can, I put them back if I want to. But in my case, it was just to do the Navbar tutorial, so I'm just gonna get rid of them. So let's just get rid of all of them. And then we also have to get rid of this here. And we're not using this for now, so this is I didn't delete all of them, so let me just do it again. So delete. Alright, so you might be thinking like, so why did we create a navbar? So I just wanted to show you how to create a navbar and how you can create different pages where you can navigate to using the route, the React router DOM. So that's why I created all of this. But now we just want to have this page. So for now, it will just we'll just keep it like that. Alright, so the next thing that we want to do is we want to come to where it says components, navbar, where it says components, and here we're gonna create a new folder. And it's gonna be named header. And inside that folder, we're gonna be creating a new component which is gonna be named header.js. Alright, and you can just go to book navbar and grab this here so that you don't have to type it again. And then just paste it here, and I will fix this. So let me just remove the navbar because we don't want this. And for now, we'll just so that it runs, we'll just have something like hello here. Let's change the name of the component. It's gonna be named header now, so just change the name. And we're not using any of these imports, so let me just get rid of this. Just import the same things that I'm importing here. So card, container, what else do we need? Row, and also column or COL. And then just save it. And if you're wondering where I'm getting all of these components from, or all of these elements from, you can just go to the React Bootstrap, and from here you can just go to cards. Let's say that you want to implement like a card, so then you'll see that you have to import it in this way. What I want to do is I want to have like an image overlay, so that's exactly what I want to have. So I'm just gonna copy this and I'll just paste it here. Alright, so then just save it and then just go back here. And as you can see, it's not showing anything. And the reason why it's not showing anything, it's because we haven't imported the component on this page. So if you just go to app.js, and then you have the navbar, right? But you want to also import the header. Alright, so what you want to do now is you want to go and import the header, right? So it goes after the navbar. So we'll just put header, and then it's gonna appear here. Then we want to close the tag, and then see, it's here, so it got imported. So you can just save, and we'll get the header here on the right. So you can see right now it's the image is not displaying, and we have like the text all over the place. So let's fix that. So let's go back to header, and the first thing that we want to fix is the image. So this is the image that we're trying to display, but we're not finding. So if you go to Google and just type background image gray, and just look through these images, then you can just control, and then go to copy the image address, and then you can just use that one. I think that's the same one that I was using, so let me double check. So you can see it's the same image. So let me do that. So let's just go back here, and where it says where you have the source, let's just replace it by what we got. So gotta remove this, and then that's it. Alright, so now you can see the image is here. It's been displayed. You got the text like it's over the header, but in this case you won't be able to see it just because it's white, so we'll have to change that as well. And let me just fix the height. So if you come here to where it says card image, then you can the way you do this is by just typing a style and then equal sign and then the brackets here, and then you can just specify, well, I think it's double brackets, yes, and then you can specify the height. So the height, it's gonna be like 200. That's what I have for the other one. And then let's just save that, and let's see what else do we want. So now we have it there. You can make it bigger if you want to. So let's say that you pick 300. So it's gonna look something like that. So it really depends on how you want it to look. So I'm just gonna leave it at 200 just to follow the what I did already. So, and then for the card title, right? So there is different ways to style things. So you can style it the way I did it. So you can just type style and then open the brackets, and then just define what you wanna change, like the height, the width, and so forth and so on. Alright, so there are different ways to style things here in JavaScript. You can use CSS, you can use in this case I use this style equal to and then the brackets and then specify what I wanted to change. And you can also do it in this way. So let's say that we want to do something like change the heading of, in this case, the car title, right? Or we can say here something like this, so car title, and then equal to, just open brackets. And here let's say that we just want to change the color, right? So we want to change it to black. And then alright, and then let's just save that. In this case it's, well, I'm missing the quotes here. Alright, and then if you come to where it says car title, and then let's say that you want to change it to use what we're using here, right? So what you can do is go to here, just once again just use a style equal to brackets, and then we can just call this so car title. And in that way we don't have to be writing everything. So let's say that we wanted to change more things, maybe the color, the border or something else, then we have to write the whole thing. So in this way we can just simplify a little bit of the code. So let's just save it, and you see that the car title changes its color. So that's another way to do it. So let's say that I want to center that. So then I'll go here and then text. I don't think I think it should be something like alignment. And if it's difficult to remember, like what CSS property you want to change, then you can also do this. So come here, and then where it says maybe the class name, right? You'll have something like I don't know, maybe let's not give it a name yet, but like let's say that you want to change something here, then you can say text and then center, and then that's gonna center the text. See, now you got the text center here, just in case that you don't remember what's the CSS property for that here. So then you can just do it directly from here. So that's another way to do it. Yeah, so let me change the size as well. So in this case, for this one is font size, I want to use 22, so 22 pixels. And then once again you can just save this, just type that 22. Let's just save it, and it's gonna change. Well, it didn't change that much, so let me just make it something more significant, like 40, let's say. See, and it changed. So you can do it in this way, or you can just just define what you want to change here, and then you just call it here. And in that way you can you don't have to write the whole thing here. Alright, so let's keep styling things. So let me take a look at what we have to do. So it's books 2022, and we also have to do all of this. Alright, so let's just change this to be books 2022. So we don't want it to have this text, we don't need that, we don't need this. Alright, let's save that. Okay, so let's try to center that. We can just give it like the margin top here. So margin top, it's gonna be like 5. Alright, that works. Alright, so we're done with the header here. So let's just save it. And once again, if you want to change things, let's say that you want to change this to orange, then you can just change that as well. You can give it a different color and it will change. So just feel free to make changes. Alright, so let me just close this header component, and let's go to components, and let's just create one more, and we'll call it, let's create a folder, and we'll just put like containers or something like that, or just container. And then here we'll have something like just create a new file that says title container .js. And for this one we're gonna have, so that's gonna be this part here, it's just gonna be that. And then we'll create like a different component that's gonna be called book cards or book card, and that's gonna be this. Alright, so let me just go to header, and this is good practice so that so we don't need this. I was planning to include the the container here, but that's why I imported all of those things, but I just changed my mind. Let's just create a new container. Let's just create a different like a separate component rather. Right in here we'll have the same thing for now because we're making changes, and let's call this title container. Alright, so now we're gonna import a bunch of different things here. So we'll have container, we'll also have a card, row, column. Right, let's save that. And let's do the following here. Just put like container. Right, so let me just have this here, and then let's just move this. So we'll just put it here. Alright, so let's just save this. Let's get rid of the image because we won't be needing that. The overlay, we don't need that either. We don't need that, so we just need this, something simple for now. Alright, and we'll get rid of this or maybe change it as well. Alright, so let's go to React Bootstrap. Let's go to layout, and here we want a grid. Alright, so let's just pick this for now, and then we'll start changing things. So we wanted to go inside here. Alright, and let me just save it just to see how it looks. And don't forget that you have to put an app.js, so it will go after the header. So then just do what is it called, title container. Alright, we have something like that. We have the background here. We want to change that. We'll change all of this, so we'll have something completely different. Alright, so let's say that for container, so we have here, you can see the container. So for container, let's start making some changes here. So we'll just put class name, just make it flex, margin top 4. Let's see what else I have here, text center, and then margin bottom 3. And then we'll change the padding x in the x direction, y direction as well. And then it will look something like, so it looks a little bit better. You can see it's been centered, so it looks better. And then for the card class here, so let me just change the name of this. So we'll use something like first card or something like that, I don't know. And then we'll add like a bunch of things here. So for instance, the font size, you already have it here, so let me just change it to 22. Alright, so this is just a bunch of CSS, so like you can, if you already know this, you can just skip this part. Solid black, and I already have these values by the way, because I already did it, so I'm just typing them. Oh, I'm not calling it, that's why it's not changing. So if I come here and say style, and then I say first card, then it should change. See, it's changing. So another thing that I added is text center. So I don't remember the property here, that's why I put it here. So I'll just put here text center, and what else I'll put there, so you can just, it's easier to, for me it's just easier to do it this way than just typing it up there. And you can combine both. And then the background, I put secondary, and then just save it, and then it's gonna change the color, the background of this. This case, I just got this, and I need more columns because I need to have 3 columns at least. So let me just so inside of the row, I'm just gonna add like 3 different columns. Let's see what we get, and we should get like 3 different columns. Alright, now let's just change the names. In this case, we want something that says book, which is the book, or title, book title or something like that, author, and then we'll put like finished on, and then the date when you finished the book. Alright, so it's looking similar. So this one has more, like, it's more spacious, as you can see. So let me see if I let me change that as well. Alright, so what I did was just work with this here. So class name, and you can give it a name, but in this case I'll just put the top and then the bottom as well to be 4, and that should make it more spacious. Alright, so that's what we have. yeah, so now as you can see, it looks better. Maybe add just a different one more column so that you have the space for this for the button once we do it. So let me just do that, and that's just gonna be empty. Save it, and you should have something like that. Okay, good. And let's say that you wanna just I don't know, just change things, right? Just to see or minimize the screen just to see if it works. So you'll see that it doesn't get messed up. So see, so it's working. All right, and you can also go to, just come here, go to more tools, and then developer tools. And if you go to, where is it? Here, you can see like there's like a phone and an iPad. Just click there, and it's gonna change it to how it's gonna look like on a phone device. So let's say that you want to change to a different, like a Samsung Galaxy, you see, or like this iPhone maybe, or maybe iPad Air or something like that. So it's gonna look like that. So this is like a good tool that you can use. Just close that. Yeah, let's just bring it back. Just close this. As you can see, we're just working on styling it and just making it look good, and then we'll work on the functionality once again. That's not the way I do things, but like for this project I decided to do it that way, but we'll see how it goes. For the next tutorial, what we're gonna be doing is implementing this, which is the card that's gonna have like the books. So we're gonna call it like the book card or something like that, and then we'll work on how to add a modal so that you can add a book and also see the more details about those books. So if this was helpful, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, share it with other people, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Thank you.